Hello and welcome to Power Engineering International Newscast. I'm Dermot Williams. In this week's newscast, top Austrian legal experts differ on Hinkley Point nuclear lawsuit. Wind industry survey shows negative media impact on public understanding. India to quadruple renewable power capacity by 2022. European solar eclipse should not affect grid stability. And world's first grid-connected wave power station activated in Australia. One of Austria's foremost legal experts in the field of energy believes Vienna will not go through with its proposed legal action against the European Commission over its approval of subsidies for Britain's Hinkley Point nuclear power project. Dr. Peter Polak told Power Engineering International he doubted Austria would seriously pursue filing the lawsuit with the European Court of Justice. It is scheduled to be filed on 21st of March. He said the Austrian approach was not really a legal concern, but more to do with local Austrian politics ahead of local elections. However, Polak's views aren't shared by another highly regarded Austrian legal expert, Reinhard Schanda, a partner at the Vienna-based law firm Sattler & Schanda. He told PEI the lawsuit would go ahead as there is full consensus between the two coalition parties in Austria's government to go ahead with it, and neither would be able to step back from this decision. He also said threats to retaliate by the UK government would only harden that resolve. A survey of 2,000 adults carried out by OnePoll has found that the British public has been taken in by negative publicity aimed at undermining the wind industry. The survey shows that the UK public thinks subsidies for wind power are more than 14 times higher than they actually are, and also found that those surveyed underestimated the extent of public support for wind energy in the country. And while government surveys have shown that public support for onshore wind farms has been steady at between 65% and 70% for several years, the survey shows respondents believing that level of support to be just under 40%. Renewable UK Chief Executive Maria McCaffrey said the independent polls showed there are considerable misconceptions about the cost of supporting wind energy, and added that it is revealing to see that wind has almost doubled the amount of public support that was estimated. More renewables, and in a move that some say will be difficult to follow through, India's finance minister has announced that the nation aims to install 4 times its current renewable power capacity by 2022. Minister Arun Jaitley said in his annual budget speech on Saturday that the nation's renewables goal for that year, which will mark India's 75th year as an independent country, is 175 gigawatts. To reach this amount, India plans to add 100 gigawatts of solar photovoltaic capacity, 60 gigawatts of wind, and 10 gigawatts of biomass installations, along with 5 gigawatts of hydropower. The solar eclipse set to be experienced by Europe later this month will not affect the European Union's grid stability, according to the Solar Trade Association. Leonie Green, head of external affairs at the Solar Trade Association, told PEI the grid is used to dealing with large ups and downs in demand and supply for electricity, and the fact that this event has been predicted well ahead of time will make it even easier. The European Network Transmission System Operators for Electricity Group had said last week the eclipse would be an unprecedented test of Europe's electricity system. Finally, the world's first grid-connected wave power station has been activated in Australia. Australian company Carnegie Wave Energy wants to accelerate the development of the sector and has developed a project which transfers wave energy straight into the electrical grid.
The wave farm, now anchored to the seabed off Garden Island, will provide enough energy to power 2,000 households. As the waves pass over these large buoys, pressure is created and transferred back to land. That water under pressure turns the turbines, generating electricity for the naval base. It will also be used to run a small desalination plant to supply fresh water.
Our wave resource in Western Australia is the best in the world, and theoretically the resource that hits our coastline every day could power the state 10 times over.
The federal government spent $13 million on the project and has committed another $13 million for its expansion.
That's all from this week's Power Engineering International newscast. You can read more about these stories in depth on our website and discuss them on our LinkedIn group. See you next week.